Well, guys and girls, I'm here for a very special emergency edition of the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang. It's something I'm very annoyed with the Saints. It relates to them rejecting plenty of players and offers and deals and stuff like that. We're going to talk about St Kilda's rejection of Jack Bosc and pick 7 essentially for free, missing out on other players, the Jordan De Goey question mark. I'll go through that clause as well. So strap yourself in. This is going to be, you thought all the Scoops Goes Bangs I've done in a year and a half of the podcast, and you thought they were big, loud, angry, and explosive. Well, you are going to hear the best. I'm not just saying this for a clickbait and attention. This will be the most angriest I've ever gotten on the podcast. So strap yourselves in. Now, get ready for the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang! Right. Now. First of all, just been reported last night that St Kilda have pulled out of the race for Jack Bosc. Now, you say, who's Jack Bosc? A young gun from the Gold Coast Knights. He's 24 years old. He's had some injury setbacks this year, which is why he's only played 5 games this season. He's 24 years old. Okay? He can play mid, he can play half-back, an area that St Kilda want to bolster, and they've said they wanted to bolster the midfield, especially and get players around the 24-year-old mark. Well, St Kilda. Rats, James Gallagher, Simon Lethlean. James Gallagher is the list manager. Brett Runs clearly is the coach. Maybe he shouldn't be. And Simon Lethlean is now the new CEO, former head of football. And their jobs need to be on the line. Now, if you heard Nick Guerrero on last night, he says the same feelings I've said. St Kilda, John Ralph from Fox Footy said on the couch last night that St Kilda have pulled out of the race. They had some interest, but they're no longer interested. Seriously? You passed on Jack Bosc, who's 24, in the prime of his career, and they were offering pick 7 just to take his salary for the next 2 years. And for people to say, oh, it's on 850 for the next 2 years or for one of the years, and it's still around that mark for the second year, you can give him a 3-year deal and spread that out to say 500k each year. It's just plain and simple. They could do that. But what has St Kilda done? They've taken the easy way out. They have not done a logical move. So they're literally given pick 7 as a salary cap dump for free because Gold Coast don't need all these picks. And they want to force salary cap pressure out like Bosc and Fiorani players like that. We're getting Bosc out. They're offering a bargain, a solid player, and pick 7 for essentially just for you to take his contract. And you're declining that offer? This is pathetic. Lethlean, Gallagher, and Ratton, all your jobs need to be on the line. What are you trying to do? Seriously, are you trying to succeed as a football club? Or are you more worried about your fucking paychecks? Seriously, Lethers, Rats, Gags. Seriously. First off, you don't attempt to get Griffin Logue, a key defender, which we clearly need. Dougal Howard needs support. There's been moments when he's been outbeaten. Now, don't give me Josh Battle, Tommy Highmore, Cal Wilkie. They're all third tall defenders, medium-sized defenders. They are not key defenders. They are not your 200 centimetres, 195 centimetre plus. Griffin Logue is that. You do not even attempt to go for Griffin Logue. Mind-boggling. Stupid. North Melbourne got him. They offered him a 5-year deal. They got him. That's an area we needed to target badly. And you butchered it. First with the midfielder with Bosc. You stuffed that one up. He's in the age bracket you say you want. 24-year-olds. You stuffed that up. Paddy Ryder's retired, so you need some ruck depth. Or even as a back, you like playing your 2 ruck duos, you say, Rats. Then you got Lloyd Meek, who's contracted at the Dockers, looking for opportunity elsewhere. You did not even attempt to go for him. Young ruckman as well. He is 24 years old, I think. He's in the prime of his career now. Had Fremantle not have Sean Darcy, he'd be playing every week. You didn't attempt to go for him a ruck depth option, or you play with Marshall on the same team. Did you go for him? No, of course not. Then we move on to Carl Amon. Carl Amon, a wingman, underrated wingman, getting offered 5 years from Hawthorn on decent money. You passed on Carl Amon. He barrowed for St Kilda as a kid. He's elaborated throughout his career he would love to play for St Kilda. You even employed his mum, for God's sake, at St Kilda at the start of this year. And you still could not land Carl Amon. Absolutely ridiculous. Then, that happens. I'm not done. Then you got the Jordan De Goey question mark. And this could go either way. And regardless if you get Jordan De Goey, this does still not make up for the mistakes you've made. You could have filled 2 key positions there. You could have got Jack Bosc, pick 7, and Griffin Logue. You could have got all 3. You could have then head to the draft with potentially, you could have had Amon as a free agent. You could have De Goey as a free agent. You could get pick Bosc for essentially salary cap dump, and pick 7. Logue and Meek are a different story, but Amon was very, very close to happening. De Goey, we're not sure yet. It still could happen. Do this every day that goes past, the question marks relates to Jordan De Goey if he comes in. But overall, realistically, you could have landed Carl Amon, Jack Bosc, pick 7, and Jordan De Goey, along with your current pick 9. And players that fit the build that we need to fill. And you're going to tell me right now, St Kilda, with a straight face, that you would not rather pick 7, Jack Bosc, Jordan De Goey, and Carl Amon over potentially having none of them players. Well, you're not getting Amon, and you question marks all over De Goey, and now apparently reportedly you're out of the race for Bosc and not interested no more. And pick 7, you cannot be serious. You've got the money cap space. Do something. I have more brains than you. Nick Riewoldt has more brains than you. Ralphie mentioned about it last night on the couch, and Riewoldt was pissed. And so he should be. Are you happy with beating mediocre? This is meant to be your 150th year in the competition. And you're going to start it off like this? Rats, Gallagher, and Lethlean. Get real. Earn your paychecks. I'll happily take one of your jobs. In particular, the list management or the coaching job. And do a better job than you, because you're not even doing the basics right. And Rui knows, Nick Riewoldt, what's right too. And I'll add to what Rui said so he doesn't understand why you would not do this move. And I agree with Rui. Why the hell would you not do this move? Why not? Why? He says, but you're happy to overpay for players that are not worth anywhere near the length of the deals. We can go through lots and lots of mistakes, but there's 2 I'm going to mention here and right now. The Dan Hanbury one. That's clearly what Rui was on about, Dan Hanbury and Brad Hill. I want to talk about those 2 today. Dan Hanbury, yes, it didn't work. His off-field stuff is great. But you gave him a big deal. You butchered that. You wanted to learn from that. But no, you kept going. There's the Andrew Lovett thing in the past. If you're going to be fair to Ecom as a football club, you want to make a stand. You're going to try and outdo all their mistakes and the years of pain you put us Saints members and fans through. Be smart about things. Brad Hill won. Was he playing all right at the time when he came to St Kilda? Sure. But has he lived up to that at St Kilda? Absolutely not. Let him go to North Melbourne. He can go join Clarko. I don't care. Send him there. Who cares? I don't care he's got 2 years left. Get rid of him. So realistically, and then this one actually as well. But a lot of St Kilda fans pissed off, and I don't blame them. And you want to get rid of Hunter Clark? One of the very few good young players we got? And you want to dump him off? To North Melbourne? To anybody and North Melbourne. You seriously want to dump him? And you say there's reports that you may accept a second rounder for him, whether that's this year or future. North don't have a second rounder at the moment, so it could be a future second. Seriously? Hunter Clark was a top 10 pick 4-5 years ago. He's been inconsistent with injuries the last 2 years. It's not his fault, mainly through concussions and bad head knocks and nose facial fracture injuries. He is a very skilled player, and to just give him up for a future second, which could be a pick in the early 20s, he's worth more than that. And if a club's not going to willing to offer that, why bother trading him for? That is just another dumb move. Gags, Rats, Lethlean, you seriously, what are you doing? Are you just there to take your paychecks and not give 0 shits about us and your club that you're meant to be earning your paycheck for, would you rather just sit in the background, do absolutely jack shit, and see other clubs succeed? Seriously, then there's talks that Jack Bosc could go to Geelong. What, you're going to let the team that just won the bloody premiership, with on top of the good players they've recruited lately, the Dangerfield and Cameron, and even Stengel as a free agent, and players like that, and now you want to give him Jack Bosc and a top 10 pick? Which would be better than yours? And they just won the premiership. And they could be one taking this deal. There's a big gap and problems at St Kilda that you need, any fan of St Kilda can realise. Now, the Ben Long one, now people are going to say, oh, how could you let him go? Well, they apparently wasn't offered a contract. Then they come out and say, St Kilda, in the release of when Ben Long got requested to trade to the Gold Coast, the offer's still there, and we have had offers in front of him for months. Bullshit, you had offers in front of him for months. Ben Long was asked by a fan the Brisbane game, round 22, not me directly, but a few people beside me, one asked him, are you going to stay at St Kilda next year? We hope you stay. They said, not me. And they said, oh, have you got an offer? He said, no, nothing yet, mate, to whoever he was talking to, and said, but we'll see what happens. So, bullshit, you offered him a deal months before the season finished. That was 2 weeks before the season finished for us. And he said to a fan that he was offered nothing. So, and I'll believe Ben Long's comment over yours. You lie and lie and lie every single week. You lie about injuries. You lie about everything. Not too long ago, St Kilda did say that their salary cap is tight. When Matt Finnis, the former CEO now, at the time, within 6 months of that comment from St Kilda, he said they've got plenty of room in the salary cap. And between that comment and St Kilda's next comment saying they've got a tight cap, no one a big name or big price had come in during that stage. So, just connect the dots. You're lying. Be upfront for your fans. You're not honest about injuries. You're Jack Bosc who was injured for weeks. 8 weeks. And we only found out about it publicly 7 weeks after it happened. Jack Billings years ago was the same thing. No transparency through the club. Stop lying. Be honest to your fans. And actually do trades. We have smarter ideas about what should be done in the trade space and draft and everything like that and team selection than you do. And you're the ones getting paid for it and we're not. You should be replaced by us, or especially me and Rui. We know what's better. You don't trade Hunter Clark for anything. You get rid of Ben Long, and that's a lie that you tried to give him a deal. You didn't even attempt to get a ruckman in Lloyd Meek. You didn't attempt to get a key defender in Griffin Logue. Seriously. There is you need to bolster, and you just let them go to North Melbourne for Logue and Hawthorn for Lloyd Meek. We've already got 2 other ruckmen in Reeves and Lynch, Max Lynch there. Seriously. And they've got a developing ruck as well. Max Ramsden. So they don't need another ruckman. Oh, you let him walk. You could have got him, enticed him with a 3-year deal for Meek and 5 for Logue. But, no, you didn't. Amon, you couldn't even get him, and you employed his bloody mum to the club. And he barracked for St Kilda, and he said in the past that he wanted to play for St Kilda one day. And you still butchered that as well. Ratton, Gallagher, Lethlean. Start earning your paychecks for once, because you haven't earned it so far at all. Don't get rid of Hunter Clark. Get rid of Ben Long. Get Jack Bosc and pick 7. And it's too late now for Amon, Meek, and Logue. But you should have had a far better attempt at getting them. But now, you can still get Jack Bosc. So how about you do something about it? Get Jack Bosc in. Try and get Jordy in still, De Goey. Pick 7, and we're laughing. If you could get Jack Bosc and pick 7 in, and potentially De Goey. Think of it this way. De Goey, Bosc, pick 7, along with your pick 9. Even if that's all you do, that's pretty successful. Then you head into the drafts with 7 and 9. People saying, oh, the draft is not as strong this year. Well, then, on trade, pick 7 or 9 at that stage to try and get a future first rounder next year. And do some other pick swaps as well if you need to. But nah, let's just sit in the background. Where's St Kilda been in the last 3 weeks? 4 weeks, 5 weeks, since their season's done. You haven't heard diddly shit from them. Diddly squat. You heard absolutely nothing. I'm sick of this. We don't want to be mediocre. We want to get out of mediocrity while you're not doing anything to get out of it. Because if you think you're going to be perfect with what you got, well, newsflash, you're wrong. You need to change this. This is unbelievable. Pathetic. We want to make the 8. Yeah, Gresh hopefully come back from injury. JB back in form. Everything like that. We need to fix things. And also, one thing I want to finish on too. The Jordan De Goey contract thing. Now, people are going to go with and saying, I'm just going to read in, I quote what I posted last night. Just an interesting thing to add to the Jordan De Goey story. If he chooses St Kilda and Collingwood, if he chooses St Kilda and Collingwood attempt to match St Kilda's offer, they are not only matching the money and years, but any clauses St Kilda may or may not add in their offer. To force St Kilda into a trade, Collingwood would then, first off, have to essentially backflip their behaviour clause and have to accept what St Kilda's in. So, legally, if they want to match St Kilda's offer, they have to agree to the terms and the behavioural clause, if St Kilda had one, Collingwood have, which essentially would backflip. So if Collingwood stick to their ground, they wouldn't match St Kilda's offer. But all things like that, all things can change just like that. This is really, really lineable. If Collingwood stick their ground regarding the behavioural clause, then honestly, St Kilda to me is a front runner. If Collingwood adjust their behaviour clause, he stays, I feel. If they keep the behaviour clauses in, then he'll join St Kilda more than likely. So this is a really interesting one. Hope you guys enjoyed this bonus video. St Kilda seriously need to lift their game. This is pathetic. Rats, gags, left in. Seriously. We as a St Kilda fan base are absolutely sick and tired of this bullshit. Do not trade out Hunter Clark. Rethink your thoughts about Jack Bosc and pick 7. Just do it. You can spread out his contract 3 years. You can spread out the 850 over the 3 years. Instead of being 850 for 2 years, you can do, say, 600 for the next 3 years. And that is fair and reasonable that way. Just do it. Stop being dumb. Think smart. If you're just going to accept mediocrity, well then nothing's going to change. And change is needed. And seriously, we're sick of it. We've always been through the top and the low times. But we deserve respect shown back. You don't care about the fans. You don't care about us at all unless your money's involved. And we all know that is the case. There's many of examples that I mentioned in the past, and I don't need to elaborate now. Do you care about your fans? Do an interview, set the record straight, say you are still interested in Jack Bosc and that pick 7 deal, and get it done. If he doesn't want to choose us, well, then that's different. But you're not even trying to get him. Get him, pick 7, then head in with pick 7, 9, and Bosc, and potentially Jordan De Goey as well, heading into next season. Then that's a step in the right direction than anyone else that comes up in the time being. But now you need to check another key defender and ruck options and hopefully Bosc, De Goey and pick 7. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, have a great one and come on Saints. Lift your game, rats, gags and lethers.